So looking for Alaska, the word beautiful is not always adequate to capture the wonder and the power that exists within novels. This particular book has received criticism and censure because the author takes an unflinchingly honest, and in many ways brutally honest, look into the world of young adults and teens. It includes descriptions of the sexual lives of some teenagers, substance abuse, depression, aggression, sudden death, and grief. However, more than that is about the meaning of our relatively short existence on this planet, and questions of the great perhaps, which is in some ways the great mystery of the possibility of an existence beyond the life we know. The main characters struggle with the question of suffering. The book is structured around the time before and after the death of Alaska Young. After her death, her friends are left struggling to make sense of her sudden loss and the questions she created within her life. How will we ever get out of this maze of suffering is a question Alaska Young poses to her friends and to her teachers. In the book, it will never be certain whether Alaska's death was accidental or intentional. Her story was one of significant suffering, self-blame, and sadness. However, her life was also full of passion, love, inspiration, compassion, humor, and creativity. In the end, this novel is about embracing radical hope, hope within our lives, and believing in the great perhaps. It is about hoping those that we have lost will continue on, be it as energy, matter, or spirit. It is about forgiving ourselves for our mistakes and choosing to believe in love, hope, and living. The question posed within the text is very complex, yet it's also very simple. What is your cause for hope? We will all have different answers to that question, but the critical thing is that we must all choose to find our sources of hope, courage, love, joy, and strength. For many of us, the way out of the labyrinth of suffering is love and hope. Love and hope reside within that great perhaps. Suffering is an inescapable part of life and of our existence every day. But suffering can be transcended. It does get better, and we can all build a legacy of hope and life for all of the Alaska Youngs in the world who have left us too soon. Basically, the context of the book is that when Alaska dies, they don't know whether it was an accidental death or if it was a suicide or if it was intentional death. Here in Montana, we unfortunately have one of the highest rates of suicide in the nation, and especially within our American Indian communities, we have the highest rate. And unfortunately, it's within our youth who are most at risk for suicide. So as somebody who's trained as a psychologist, my interest is, how do we stop that? How do we change that? How do we understand it? And how do we make lives, or how do we open up hope for our youth and for our children in a different way? So this book was recommended to me by my daughter, who is 15. She's a sophomore here in Missoula, and she read this book, just found it, picked it up off the shelf, and it's really been a meaningful book for our family, and it's been something that I think that we've definitely have looked at and saw the power within this book. One of the things I'll say is that I admire John Green's work. He has Looking for Alaska and The Fault Is in Our Stars, and they're just beautiful novels. One of the aspects that his writing is really powerfully conveys is that that everyone has complexities within their lives, but everyone is capable of hope and of just intelligence, living their life in a thoughtful, mindful way. I'm Annie Belcourt. I'm a member of the 3 affiliated tribes in North Dakota. I'm Mandan, Hidatsan, Blackfeet, Chippewa, and I'm also an assistant professor here at the University of Montana. I have an appointment within pharmacy practice and community and public health sciences. And I read banned books.